I'm Billy Eastep, and I'm the head teaching professional at the Madison Golf Center. We're here at the Golf Center this afternoon on a beautiful spring afternoon, and one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the most common swing faults that I see in my day-to-day teaching. And what we're going to do, we're going to start out, the first one, we're going to start out with a swing flaw that we see more often in the higher handicap player, and most of you that are in that handicap range, you've probably heard this before. It is called coming over the top. If you've read golf magazines and studied the game a little bit, you know there's a lot of reasons, and people have their own ideas about why people come over the top. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you today a few thoughts about first off, for some of you that may not know what come over the top is, basically coming over the top is kind of an upper body dominated motion. When the swing starts down from the top of the swing, the upper part of the body tends to want to take over really early in the downswing, and then of course that brings the path of the club across the golf ball. It's a very much of a power robber. It's pretty hard to really get any distance or any power if you have that kind of a swing pattern. So what we want to try to do is to start you out with a couple of thoughts on why that is. Some of the things that I've learned recently as far as how to study the body and understanding about the body is that oftentimes people have a difficult time separating their upper and lower part of their body during the golf swing. Now what I mean by that, and I'm just going to go over here and grab a couple of these rods. Most of you have seen these. You can buy these in most of the pro shops. They're called tour sticks, and it's a great way for you to be able to kind of see what's going on with your upper and lower body. I'm going to turn first toward the camera this way, and ideally what we'd want to do in the backswing would be to start this back where the upper part of the body, this blue rod, is moving much more than the bottom rod on the start of the backswing. So the upper part of the body is going to start it back, and then as we start down from the top of the swing, it's very important that this other rod, this yellow rod, really begins the downswing. If I get it back here and then this starts, or they start together, then we have basically a pretty much of an over-the-top downswing. So turning in this direction, you can see it like this, that as the swing develops and moves back, you can see this blue rod has turned back a good bit more than the yellow rod. And then as we start down, I want to make sure that the yellow rod starts first, which allows for my upper part of the body to be behind a little bit as you start down, and then the upper part of the body will go ahead and go on through. So those are some things that we could kind of start talking about as far as the over-the-top swing is concerned. The other thing that I have seen a lot in my teaching that can cause an over-the-top is the fact that the grip can sometimes be a little bit weak. The grip turned back to the left, the club face gets a little open at the top, and then even if a person brought the club down on the downswing on the inside like they should, the face of the club would tend to be open and the ball would tend to go way out to the right. So they, in essence, what they wind up doing is swinging more over the top, which is one of the ways to try to get the ball to go down the fairway. What I'm going to do is kind of demonstrate for you a couple of swings, one which would be an over the top type of swing, and then the other would be hopefully one that's going to be more on plane the way that you would want to do it. So as I set up to it, if a person was kind of really dominated with their upper body, they would tend to have their right shoulder a little bit too high when they start out this way, and then the swing, as the swing develops, the swing tends to kind of work itself kind of that way, which again is this outside in, over the top type of a swing. And you can see the ball either is going to go into the ground or it's going to start to the left and it's going to fade back or slice back to the right. The sequence that we would want to have would be, as the club gets to the top of the swing, the lower part of the body would initiate first, and then the upper body and the arms come down, and then the club then can come more on the correct plane that we want the golf club to really swing on. What I'm going to do now, if I can, I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate a swing that would hopefully be kind of what you're trying to do, and putting it on the correct plane. The address position, the right side sitting in a good spot, and then we're back to the top, and then on through, and that ball started out to the right a little bit and had a little bit of draw on it. So those of you that are having the difficulty of coming over the top, remember that your upper part of your body is dominating. Oftentimes if you tested someone to see physically kind of where they are, oftentimes just developing your lower body a little bit more, your glutes and your core can sometimes help you to use that part of your body more. So sometimes there's a physical component to this, but oftentimes it's really just maybe not understanding exactly how the sequence of the body works, and the fact that the club does need to come down from the inside and through to impact. I hope that helps you higher handicap golfers to develop a better swing and to be able to overcome the over-the-top swing.